This is Untether.tv, where we get inside the business of mobile. Here's your host, Rob Woodbridge.
Hi everybody, welcome to Untether.tv, where we get inside the business of mobile. I'm joined today from New York City. It's a Sunday afternoon, a sweltering day in New York City, sweltering day in Ottawa. But I'm joined today by Jeff Schmidt and Paula Patrice from Nutrisleuth. And guys, thank you for coming in on a Sunday afternoon to do this. I really appreciate you doing it. Welcome.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on to tell the story of Nutrisleuth and how it was started and kind of impart some lessons on some of the people who are out there looking to build, develop, promote, market their own application. And from all I've heard in our little conversation we had before this interview actually started filming, was that you guys are experiencing something that a lot of app developers would love to be in that position. So we'll get into that, but I want to. Why don't you give me and the viewers a little rundown of what Nutrisleuth is?
Absolutely. Well, at the core, Nutrisleuth is an iPhone application. It is a consumer health profile management platform in the palm of your hand, and it is your best friend when you have special dietary needs and you need to go shopping. So
it's really a personal buddy for these kind of. It's not so much on the well, maybe it is on the health fanatic side, but or are you targeting towards really the people who need it for their dietary requirements?
It's both. I think it's people with dietary requirements, but it's also just the average soccer mom who has to manage grandma and her kids and her husbands and specific dietary needs for all the family as she's shopping to cook dinner for one night, and it encompasses one meal can encompass 1,000 ingredients.
I mean, let's face it, it's everybody right now. I mean, when I talk about the product and someone will say to me, well, I'm lucky I don't have any food allergies, and I say, right, you know someone who does.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that that person will always be the person who influences the family meal.
Yes.
Because everyone has to comply with whatever that special condition is.
Yeah.
So it is a way to integrate some advice from a professional into your everyday life.
Well, obviously it's an idea whose time has come. And I've seen a lot of fitness applications and diet applications that are on App World and other platforms, but nothing where it's basically a nutritionist in my pocket, which tells me whether or not I can or can't eat. What's that?
Dietitian.
Dietitian in your pocket. That's right.
And that's just, it's been a learning experience for me.
Yeah.
That's a credential. I didn't realize how important a dietitian was.
Yes. Yes. I think there are a lot of nutritionists, but so where did the idea come from? How, what's the genesis of this idea?
It came from our founder, Valerie Daly, who is a registered dietitian.
Mm-hmm.
She is in Connecticut, and she found herself, officially, the official PR line is that she found herself continually writing aloud food lists for her clients, mm-hmm. and recognized the need to automate the process. And basically, people hire a dietitian to come in and they say, okay, my doctor just diagnosed me with a cardiac condition or diabetes. And they left the doctor's office and they're like, I don't know what to eat. The doctor said, eat right, but what do I eat? So she would come in and she'd be spending the hour or 2 hours of time, instead of educating the consumer, just sitting there writing these lists, and they would say, I don't understand. Can you just look at what's in my kitchen cabinet and just throw out the stuff I shouldn't eat and tell me what to buy to put in there?
Yeah.
So she had this great brainstorm of how can I automate this and put it into an iPhone application. And to me, that is the absolute beauty of technology. You can't pay people to have innovative thoughts. It's a gift. So, as a technology developer, people come to me all the time with $1 million idea. And Valerie was referred to me. I own a company called BP Web Technologies. And, she was referred to me because she realized she needed something that was a custom development, special platform She didn't realize that I'm actually an end user because I have very severe food allergies. I have since the age of 2. And I am the anaphylactic user. So what's so great to me is, that someone can come up with an idea and have no way of comprehending the impact that it is going to have and revolutionize mobile healthcare from a consumer standpoint. Right? And that's what Valerie essentially did.
Wow. It's massive. When you talk about the simplicity of the idea, and it's always so shocking when well, maybe it isn't anymore, but when an idea like this hasn't been created yet, right? When people say every idea has been taken, but the maybe the complicated ideas have been, but the sheer simplicity of this is something that everybody can use every day of their when they shop or when they go and buy food at any grocery store. But so did it shock her that this wasn't done? Obviously, she had her customers who were saying...
It shocked me.
Yeah.
And I've heard every idea in the book. And really, I'm a technology developer. I've been out there. I've been innovating for a long time. And, I stopped for a moment and I was like, wait a second. This does not exist.
Yeah.
It's the Post-it note of healthcare technology.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't I think of that?
It is.
It's done. And the original idea, I had a lot of different features. So we're gonna, we can add to the shopping cart list, shopping cart, make a list, blah blah blah. The core function here is, what do I eat? Just tell me if this product is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was her brainstorm, and it's been 1 year this month in the making.
So. Well, I'm going to come back to the development side of it, but it's very interesting. The greatest quote I saw, it was on your website, was I think it's something like, I can stop reading and I can start eating with this application.
So you need to read it before you eat it?
Yeah, I think
because I do. I really do need to read it before I eat it. It sounds funny unless you're the end user.
Yeah.
It's not. This is not a video game. This is people's lives at stake. Anaphylaxis is a life or death condition. And it's hard for people to understand unless they're in that position. There's a lot of apps out there that are calorie counting, lose weight, fitness, and there's a market for that. I understand. I think it's great that everybody wants to be their best. This, we've been very careful not to, give any opinions. Everything is based on generally accepted medical guidelines.
Very important.
And B, this is not a weight loss tool. This is a health management tool. Manage your health profile, and then additionally be empowered at the point of decision when you are about to purchase or consume a product with the information that a manufacturer has supplied to you. We take the two, we put them together, and we offer that information to the consumer.
So, this must have a massive database behind it of popular brands. Talk about that development process, because this really, it seems to me like this could be one of these all-encompassing products. When you sat down a year ago and you put everything up on the whiteboard, you said, what does this product look like? I'm sure that there were just lists and reams of things that it could have been. And how did you start to distill that down? Because I think that's a big problem that a lot of developers have, a lot of idea people have, distilling it down to its very core, its simplest, first function, we'll call it. So, it must have had a large laundry list, as you said. You alluded to like a shopping list, and what did you guys eventually put into the product, and what did you kind of discard for now, but maybe you'll come back to it when you're ready?
I'd actually like Jeff to speak a little more about where the product line is going.
Sure.
The Nutrisleuth iPhone application is the core. Jeff has come in and really helped us to develop the overall concepts and the different models that we're going to go forward with. But in answer to the massive database, not only is it a massive database, approximately 200,000 products. I couldn't figure out if that was a lot. And then I realized that some distributors of e-commerce and grocery retail distributors only have about 30,000 in their own personal databases. So 200,000 we cover. I would like to put forth that we cover about 99% of anything you're going to find in a store, be it the small boutique, gluten-free, specialized, allergen-friendly manufacturers, to the large private label, your local shopping store private label, of those two. So, it's not just that we have the products. Our database provider is first in line for updates from those products. Our UPCs are all the general, GS1 compliant UPCs. The database is updated immediately from a manufacturer. There is no delay. If we want to update our database, say a product formula changes and, we understand, okay, suddenly there's a gluten product in there, so let's change that with an update within our database so our consumer is aware. We can do that twice a week. So it was about not just getting a very large amount of data, but getting accurate and consistently updated data. Because again, those lines. And I know that, when it comes to apps, it's kind of like, okay, well, let's just get it out there, and then, we'll start to get people and we'll figure it out. We could have launched in April. It's July. And it was really important that we test our parameters, that we get the right database, that we get the right partners, and that we get the right credentials behind us before we start going out there saying, let us tell you what to eat. Well, it's not an opinion. It's based on fact.
It's a little different between, and we'll come, sorry Jeff, we'll come to the architecture or the product roadmap, but it's the difference between it being a utility and a lifestyle tool, right? I mean, the amount of effort that goes into it, if you had a cursory number of products, I use a personal, a shopper app, that it has a barcode scanner like yours does, but it doesn't have any product that I scan in, right? So it's a frustrating experience. So to launch with a cursory number of, say, 10,000 items, which would still be a lot, or even 30,000 items, which would still be a lot, doesn't do it justice. Then it becomes a utility that you might use, but you might not trust, to 200,000 products where all of a sudden it's something that you can trust because, for the most part, everything that you need will be in that database and modified. That's such an important distinction. Your comment about it not being a game, but again, it's not a utility. This is part of your life that you're taking into your own hands when you use a product. You better be very confident that it works.
Yeah, we want it to be a complete experience. We also want it to translate into, out of home, beyond food shopping. So when I came in and started breaking down the work that Paul and Valerie had done, kind of realized two things. One, they basically standardized and digitized food allergy cards and consumer health cards, which can be leveraged beyond the iPhone. It can be leveraged beyond mobile technology. It can be leveraged with restaurants. It can be leveraged with applications that help you make reservations. Anything to send your profile to the person that's going to be cooking your food is a major help, and Paula can attest to that better than anybody.
I have to just interject. This was great. This is when I knew that Jeff was the perfect fit for us. Because we have been out there. Valerie and I knew that we were completely overwhelmed with this as a business. We were pulling our weight as best we could, but there was a point where we needed to bring in someone with a solid financial background, first of all, to do our financial modeling. And then, second of all, to do take all of our ideas and to turn them into some kind of business.
Yep.
When we